What is up, everybody? I'm Japes, and I'm here just doing a Q&A Monday is essentially what it is. I don't know, I got home from the lake yesterday real late, wanted to do a video, wanted to also let you guys know that I'll be streaming today, so that'll be over at www.twitch.tv/airjapesfifa. It could be going on right now, but watch this first. I'll answer some questions. I just asked on Twitter, said, if you guys have questions, I've got the answers. Well, at least I like to think I do. So I'm going to go ahead and try to answer those. Got a nice cup of coffee, so we will get into that. So here we go. First question from MT96HD says, Japes, what is your favorite team during the Path to Power series? My favorite team from the Path to Power series? That's such a tough one. I'm really enjoying the team that I've got right now. And I'll always probably say that because, to be completely honest, I've totally forgotten some of the teams that I've had. The 4-1-2-1-2, though, that I had with Messi, with Zarate and Aguero up front was a tough team. And same with that 3-5-2 that I had with Arteta. I generally just remember the catalyst that I have in my teams, and that's kind of how I'll categorize them. So those are three options, and that's that. George Mitchie says, or at MitchieHD says, what is your favorite food? Hashtag AskJapes. My favorite food is actually Wiener Schnitzel. And what Wiener Schnitzel is it's essentially just breaded veal. My absolute favorite place to get it is at a restaurant in Vienna called Fiegelmüller's. I've been there a bunch of times. That's originally where a large part of my family is from, that in the Bavaria area or the Munich area. That's why those two places are where I've spent most of my time when I've been to Europe. So that would be my favorite food, hands down. I don't get it too often, but my dad does make a mean Wiener Schnitzel. Do I play football in real life? Yes, I most definitely do. Right now, I had practice yesterday. I play in an amateur league now here in Georgia, or in Atlanta, which is a pretty strong amateur league. A couple players in this league have been picked up for the MLS at one point or another. But I'm in one of the lower divisions because I just got started with the team that I'm on this season. I played with a different team last season, so I'm on a better team this season that just newly formed, which is always exciting. But I went to college originally on a scholarship in real life, which is kind of cool. So that is where I guess I originally played at just the club level, and I didn't really want to play in college. I didn't have that driving passion for football. It's not as prevalent here in America, and I was like, oh man, college girls, partying, booze. And I'm glad that I played, but then I transferred schools and I stopped playing, and that's when I was like, oh my god, I didn't realize that I missed it or that I loved it that much. So that's when I started playing FIFA heavy, and next thing I knew, here I am now. So what got me interested in football, soccer? Playing it since I was a kid. Josh says, why are you so sexy? Got to thank Mama and Papa for that, I suppose. Let's see, scroll down here. Since when have I supported Bayern? Since my first trip to the Allianz. I cannot remember how old I was there. What do I think of Newcastle? I think the St. James Park is pretty cool. I like watching Newcastle play. They're one of my favorite teams, I suppose, to watch. So there is that. Let's see. What time is the stream? The stream's going to be probably starting here in, I'd say, an hour or so. It's probably about 1:50. What time do I trade mostly, and when will the next Power deck decider be up? I generally trade late in the evening, and that's just because I'm busy doing this or that all day, or streaming, which I've been doing quite a lot recently. But I just find it easier to trade in the evening. It's more relaxed. I can look at a lot of different cards. There's less people on. It's just easier to get open bids because there are less people fighting for those cards. And next Path to Power will more than likely be up tomorrow with a deck decider. I might start shooting for 2 deck deciders a week, so you guys let me know if you think that's a good idea. I think it's definitely possible. A lot of editing and work goes into those, but I still think it'd be fun. And if that's the case, I'm going to need your help to find some artists that are cool to let me use some of their songs in my deck decider, because I think you guys like the whole whiteboard thing and, you know, me scribbling in my terrible handwriting, which maybe I should just slow down and try to make it not look so 4-year-old-ish, but that's a story for a different day, so we'll keep it going. Let's see, we can answer that. I'm just rolling through Twitter. Let's see, Matt or at Heezy Rules says, favorite animation series back in the day, in case you didn't know like them. I think my all-time favorite animation series is probably Scooby-Doo. And I don't know if you guys you guys have to know what Scooby-Doo is, but that was just like a classic. When I used to come down for school in the morning before, at breakfast time, I started school real early at like 6 or 6:30. It was always on, and so I always had to watch it. And when I got home from school, there was always an episode on. So it was like you can't go wrong with it. I watched it so many different times. That was one of my favorites. favorites. What inspired me to make FIFA videos? Says Jack Greaves. That's kind of a weird story. I loved FIFA and I loved playing it, but my direct, I was kind of like, well, here's how it goes. There were a couple guys that I bumped into one time and they said, hey, like, they checked my bio and they were like, are you on YouTube? And I was like, what? People make FIFA videos for YouTube? That's crazy. I don't believe you. And so I went and I checked a few out and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And I was like, wait a second. What would be a lifelong dream? And that's kind of like be a football commentator, analyst, or work for the MLS, something like that. That would be extremely cool. And I was like, would a world audience ever listen to an American actually talk about football or talk about soccer? And so I was like, well, FIFA is a decent segue into that. We'll see how it goes. And the rest, I guess, is history. I thought, I major in economics, so let's do some trading stuff to begin with and see how it takes. And it seemed to take off pretty well. Did Power Hour and FIFAnomics and so on and so forth. But that's essentially where I got the idea to stream on YouTube. Is somebody eventually talked me into it and was like, no, just make a video, try it out, see if you like it. And it was fun. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. I kind of like this whole commentating thing. And that got me going. Have I ever thought about entering the FIFA Interactive World Cup? Yes and no. No, because I don't have a PS3, but yes, because, everything I do, I'm a real competitive guy, and I always kind of want to be towards the top of the list. So Kyle Crow 97 said that. How long do you think you'll be carrying on with YouTube? I'd love to say I'll carry on with YouTube for not forever necessarily, but for quite a while, because right now I enjoy it, and as long as you guys enjoy my content and there's no significant back fallout in real life, then I think I'll just keep on going with it as long as it stays fun. And that's what I tell, people ask me all the time, what kind of advice might you give to a new kind of aspiring, I guess, YouTube commentator? It's like, have fun with it, be yourself. And see and just kind of get a feel for it. And, as long as you're having fun with it, people will kind of flock to that. People like to see people have fun with whatever they are doing. If Bayern could sign any player excluding Messi and Ronaldo, who would you want them to sign? Gosh, that's a bizarre question. There's so many players that I'd love to see Bayern sign. I love the team, though. In the same token, it's like, oh man, it's a great team. I'm going to have to take a pass on that. There's so many, I can't even make up my mind. What would be the most impossible player? I don't know, probably Neymar. Neymar would be a great little signing for them. That's, obviously, yeah, Neymar would be an incredible signing. So I'm going to take the easy way out there. I'd also like to see Mario Götze at Bayern, which I don't think will ever happen, but that's okay. Do I like Chinese or Indian food, says Duncan Liam. Yes, I like both. Nicholas Fries says, where did you live as a kid? I grew up in Atlanta and spent my summers in Wisconsin. I'm going to actually check and see how long I've been rambling on for. It's around 8 minutes already. Sweet mother of God. What position do I play? I play center back. Says Matthew Hayward. Let's see. Late Exit says, Japes, who's your favorite and second favorite Premier League team and why? That is an absolute mess to say. I have no idea. The first ever kit I was given was an Arsenal jersey, so I thought I was kind of partial to them. I'm an AVB fan, so I think I'm going to like watching Spurs play this year. I enjoy watching Newcastle play as well. I kind of have a sour taste, though, about Man U and Chelsea, and I'll explain why. Essentially, the reason in America we only get so many matches showed on the TV in the past we've only gotten so many matches shown on TV, and those matches were almost always a Chelsea match or almost always a United match. So every American that you talk to, you're going to say, oh, are you a soccer fan or are you a football fan? Well, you'd say, are you a soccer fan? And it's like, oh, yeah, I love Manchester United. It's like, well, tell me something about Manchester United. And they have absolutely no idea. But they're a fan because that's what they've been exposed to here in the States, which is fine with me. And, you're a product of what you're around. Let's see. What is my favorite formation, says Chris Altini? I don't know. I like using a lot of different formations, mixing it up, all the variety. That's what's good. Let's see. Ryan Babel says, or Adshian Greeny says, have you been watching many Olympic events? Yeah, I try to watch the primetime events here in the States, which has been gymnastics, sprinting, swimming, things of that nature. Let's see. Liam Holt, who inspired you to do YouTube? I think we've already been over that. Let's see. What was the first FIFA I ever played? I actually have no idea. I know it goes way back, but the games I most remember, I think it was like FIFA 06. And then Virtual Striker for Dreamcast. I don't know if you guys remember that game, but those are two of the football games that most stick out in my mind. That and like a World Cup, maybe 98 edition of FIFA. Is that right? I want to say that's right, where you could edit the players' names and edit their ratings just like that. So I always would put myself in the game at 99 ratings overall. Of course, Let us see. What will be the first team that I make in FIFA 13, says Mr. DuPont. That's all a product of price in relation to value. As with what I always do with FIFA, I've got to do some sort of analysis for it. I can't just go out and go after the favorite players that I have. I'm sure the Bundesliga will be a good value, so that will be a good option there. Let's see. All right, we'll keep this rolling. What's my favorite TV show? Oh, man. My favorite TV show currently, I don't know. I'm a big fan of Game of Thrones. I'm a big fan of most shows that they do on HBO or Showtime. Boardwalk Empire is excellent. There's some good Showtime shows that I've watched recently too. The Borgias, that's a good show. I don't know, whatever's going to be the new hot, I don't know, HBO or I've been watching Newsroom. That got kind of boring recently. I can't say True Blood got a little weird for me. Don't tell Fangbanger. But apparently, on the topic of that, her friend Sydney, she freaking wants me. So, and she said so now, so it's on. Let's see. Do I exercise often? Yeah, I do. I try to stay active and, keep my body in good shape, but that's mainly for when I take my shirt off. Gotta look good for the girls. That question was asked by John Christensen. In my mind, who's the most overpowered player in FIFA? I don't know. Agbonlahor, Sturridge, or Lukaku. Probably one of those three. Just based on how they perform in real life relative to how good they are on FIFA. And we're at 12 minutes right now. So if you're still watching, props to you. That is a lot. I know I talk fast, so hopefully that'll keep it relatively interesting. If you could compare yourself to any other FIFA player, who would it be and why? I'm not sure if you're referring to FIFA YouTubers or if you're referring to FIFA players. I don't really know how to answer that question. I like to think I've got my own style. I guess that's kind of narcissistic, but that's going to be my answer to that. I suppose I have different things in common with different other FIFA YouTubers or players, so that's a tough question to answer. But now I think we're going to come to a close with this. And I appreciate you guys sticking in here and watching it all the way through. If you did, I do appreciate it. Other than that, we're going to have a Path to Power out tomorrow. I'll be streaming again probably about an hour from now, 2 p.m. EST or 2 p.m. or 7 p.m. GMT, something along those lines. Generally, that's when I like to get my streams started. Hopefully, I won't be stumbling over my words at that point. Anyways, guys, my name is Japes. Hope you enjoyed this, and I will catch you all next time.